Welcome back. Namibia is taking a major step toward empowering businesses to fully harness the opportunities of the African Continental Free Trade Area. The two-day validation workshop will review and validate the step-by-step guide for trading in goods and accompanying digital trade information portal designed to facilitate practical cross-border trade. Joining us now with more insight on this, we're joined by Economist Gabriel Erastus. Gabriel, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yes, good morning to you. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Firstly, how does this validation workshop contribute to Namibia's preparedness to participate in the African Continental Free Trade Area?
Yeah, remember the FTA is literally just an agreement that countries signed to lower the tariff barriers. It's just an agreement. It's just a paper. So now, for companies to practically participate or to take advantage of that agreement, they have to have the right information. They have to take certain steps, but they have to fulfill certain commitments, or they have to meet certain requirements for them to participate. But not every company has that ability or that research ability or to have trade experts to understand everything else within the agreement, because these are thick documents. Now, to make it easy, the country have to collectively put some effort in ensuring that whether you are small or you are medium or big, the information is available for you to take part in the FTA. So this guide will now provide those practical guidance to all those who are seeking to expand their market. So it's a country effort to just actually to ensure that those who are looking for market, who wanted to trade within the African market, they have access to that information. So I think it's the biggest step. Is the biggest, or actually the most critical step to guide, to make those who are willing to participate in the FTA to have the right information or to be guided in the right way.
What we do know is that, of course, it's a step-by-step guide. So in what ways might this step-by-step guide and digital trade information portal actually transform how Namibian businesses engage in cross-border trade? Yeah.
Remember, trade does not just happen because I want to trade with Zambia. It starts with information. The most valuable commodity, it is information. It is the right information, actually. So now, if I want to trade with Zambia and I do not know what it takes, the trade is not going to happen. So, and this is one of the main reasons the African or the intra-Africa trade is below 20%. It's not just that the Africans do not want to trade with each other. It's because the right information is not there. The guidance is not there. Everybody just tell you that, no, just go to NAMRA or just do this. No, but it's not that easy. And remember, most of African countries or countries like Namibia, we are dominated by SMEs, so small and medium enterprises. And the research capacity for them to get the relevant insight or the trade insight or customs insight is not easy. So when this right information or this type of guide or in this type of arrangement and capacity building available, it makes it easier for me to send my goods to Zambia. It makes it easier for me to get a client within Gabon. So, and when this information is able, or I'm able to access this information, it does not take me another degree or diploma for me to acquire this information, then it makes me easier to start trading with my fellow people from Zambia or from DRC. So Africa is consuming, Africa is importing, but they are not importing internally. And it's because the procedures or the requirements that are there for them to trade among themselves, the information is not available. So when now this information is on the table clearly, and all those who want to participate are able to access it, and when they are able to access it, when they face any barrier or when they face difficulty in understanding it, there are people who are able to guide them, then it makes easier for them to start a trade. So that is the basic tenet of this guide. Yeah.
Yeah, and what we do know, of course, like you mentioned earlier, is that there are a wide range of stakeholders involved in this workshop, such as your MSMEs, your women, and of course youth-owned enterprises as well as the regulators, of course, who are validating these tools. What is your understanding or your opinion in terms of the significance of having all the stakeholders involved in this?
Yeah. Remember, for you to get your product to DRC or to Zambia, it's not only the Namibian revenue agency which is involved. No. If you are trading probably agriculture-related things, if you need some standard or requirements, you need to involve Namibia standard institutions. So, and if they relate to health, you need the Minister of Health. So you see, there are a couple of stakeholders that need to be in, and one of the issues that we face in Africa, in Namibia, is that our institutions that's supposed to facilitate are so fragmented. They are not speaking the same language. They might have the willingness to assist, but if we are not speaking the same language and going the same direction, NAMRA will facilitate my things faster. Then when I go to the Minister of Agriculture, they need to take some time. Then when I want to see NSI, they need to take down. If all of us agree that we want to increase intra-Africa trade, it means that all the stakeholders that are supposed to facilitate or to enable trade, they need to speak the same language.
Apologies to cut you off on the Gabriel. I just want you to perhaps explain to us what you believe is the cause of some of the fragmentation between the different institutions when it comes to the understanding behind the challenges actually experienced by traders or Namibian traders, for instance. What is the cause of that fragmentation?
Yeah, and I don't want to say it's debatable, but at the core of this is that if all of us do not have the same understanding or going in the same direction, when it comes to vision, all of us have to collectively agree that we want to position Namibia to be at a certain level. And if NAMRA does not have that vision, if Minister of Agriculture does not have that vision, if NSI does not have that vision, they will not work together or they will not run at the same pace. So it means everyone, all of us, have to be in the same page, having the same vision that this is where we want to take Namibia. We want to diversify our export basket. We want to de-risk our export basket from depending on European consumers. If all of us agree on that same vision, then we will move in the same direction. So what is now going on is that institutions are just about their mandate. No, my mandate is to collect. My mandate is to do what? We should have one mandate to position Namibia to be a competitive economy and to increase its economic complexity. And for us to do that, we have to be on the same direction. It's not about mandate. My mandate is what? We are all agreeing that we want to make Namibia competitive. We want to have 10 countries or 10 markets within Africa through the FTA. So it's all about having the same vision where to take the country and combining or aligning our mandate when it comes to facilitating trade. That is what matters.
Very well. And looking at where we are now, Gabriel, now understanding that there is perhaps a need for us to then maybe align those visions of the different institutions that are involved in this. Are we late perhaps to already then have this workshop or validation workshop, or is there perhaps also a need for us to then try to align the vision and the mandates of all those that are all the key players in this area? Are we late to have this workshop and perhaps focus then only on fixing the mandates and the visions so that we actually are making sure that inter-trade and of course all the Namibian traders that are currently going to be trading under the AFCF FTA actually don't face the challenges in terms of dealing with different institutions and then finding out that the NAMRA has different ways of operating. The Ministry of Agriculture has different ways of operating, and perhaps try to focus on, streamlining those services for them rather than, trying to focus on how we can actually trade already. What is your thoughts on that? Perhaps just your opinion and your thoughts.
Yeah, we are not late at all. We are not late at all. It's just that we move very slowly. you know, South Africa and Egypt and Nigeria and Ghana are moving faster. South Africa have already, they keep updating every trade strategy that they have. South Africa is coming up with mechanisms to assist their companies to diversify because the geopolitics are affecting South Africa and is making them to actually act fast. So in terms of how late we are not late. We are not late. The African market is so big. The only issue is that everybody needs to come to the room. The problem is that, or one of the issues that we face that is actually becoming a barrier is that when we invite stakeholders to come to the room, we don't. And if you end up not to come to the room, then you do not align. But if all of us come to the table and agree, colleagues, for the first quarter we need to penetrate Gabon. For the third quarter, we need to send our beer to Zambia. We have to make it possible. The companies have capacity to produce. So who's supposed to be in the room? And what do they need? NSI. NSI, what you need? No, I have a problem with standard, my machines or my labs. You know, I was reading a story that Namco oil are being tested in South Africa. Now, imagine that the process, because Namco is supposed to export the oil to Botswana. Now, you need a South African lab to test it. Now, look at that the process. But if we can actually just capacitate and understand the distribution to the level where they're supposed to be, then the testing can happen and things can move faster. So it's not about being late. It's just making sure that the relevant institutions and the people are in the room and they have the capacity to do what needs to be done. This is all about efficiency. It's all about timing. You know, it's all about doing things timely so you can be competitive. So we are not late at all. We just need to increase our efficiency and to get everybody in the room and to do it and to go in the same direction.
No, absolutely, I agree with you on that. But of course, so much that we need to, of course, talk about on this. I wish I had more time, Gabriel. Thank you so much for your insights on this. Of course, we'll expand this conversation in the future. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, sir.